Don't Let Them In, directed by Mike Dunkin, starring Scott Britton, Louise Duncan, and Amanda Hunt. A home invasion horror movie in the vein of You're Next and The Purge, about a group of people under siege by masked intruders in an abandoned hotel. Don't Let Them In is a low-budget home invasion horror film, and it was shot over 14 days. The reason I bring this up is to highlight the fact that this is a very low-budget horror film. There's a lot of really good ideas in this film, and there's some execution that is really well done. And before I dived into this film, I made sure to go in with the expectation that this is a very small indie horror film. And that would be the same expectation that I would impart on any of you that decide to watch this film. The film takes place 15 years after a brutal murder of a young girl. A reformed David Pierce is finally released from the asylum and returns to his family home, the 12 Bells Inn, which has been a long-abandoned hotel. Two social workers pay a routine visit, and things are clearly not what they seem. Masked intruders spark a savage confrontation, which leads to an all-out assault. Torn between their own safety and a duty to their client, the courageous heroes must outwit and fight relentlessly to survive the night. I feel like for a first feature film, this isn't a bad start. I liked the cast, especially Aidan O'Neill, who plays Carl, one of the social workers. He has good comedic timing, and he's also a very relatable character. I felt the setting worked really well, especially for a low-budget film. The cinematography and the lighting are very good. I really liked how this film was shot, and there are some scenes with the lighting that really give it this ominous tone. I do like the practical effects, although used sparingly, I do feel that they're pretty effective. I would have liked to have seen more on-screen kills, but I can understand if there were budgetary restrictions to be able to have that happen on screen. I also would have liked to have seen a bit more action with the intruders. We get a little bit here and there. I would have liked to have seen them really charge into the inn and have an all-out bloodbath. But again, I can imagine that the budgetary restrictions didn't really allow for that to happen. One of the big things I feel could have been improved upon was the pacing. There's a really good story here, and there's some really good ideas about the intruders and the backstory of who they are, and us getting to know who David Pierce is, but the story gets bogged down with a bit too much exposition, as well as some attempts at character development between the two social workers that I didn't feel totally worked. And although the film was only 80 minutes long, those pacing issues made the film feel a bit longer than it actually is. Now, that's not to say that the film is bad. I feel like it's a pretty well done film with a lot of really good ideas that's held back by budgetary restrictions and a script that could have been tightened up a bit more. I do want to mention that there is one decapitation in this film. It's off screen, but the aftermath is pretty effective for the small budget it has. With all that said, Don't Let Them In gets a weekend rental. I look forward to what Mike Dunkin does next. He has talent as a filmmaker, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do with a larger budget and a tighter script. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for coming by, and I'll see you guys in the next video.